Welcome to Studio DBA. This is the podcast and recording studio for the 100 Men Hall. We spent the better part of last year into this year refurbishing a 1956 Silver Street Clipper.
Wow.
The idea is to get some feedback or some backstory on musicians, because the feeling is that musicians spend so much time practicing and they come out and give us like an hour of joy. And we're just interested in your life because obviously you don't have a lot of time where people are giving back to you. So we would like to hear more about your story. So why don't we start with you, Wilson? Can you tell me, you come from a musical family, right? So what was it like?
Yeah, I grew up on a farm in Eunice, Louisiana. Mom and dad. My dad builds accordions. Mom wrote a book on Cajun music.
Wow.
And they had a band together. They traveled all over the world with Michael Doucet. And
oh, wow.
I grew up kind of in a under a rock. We didn't have much external culture. It was just like Cajun culture all the time, nothing else.
And where was that? And where?
Growing up near Eunice, Louisiana.
Eunice, I'm sorry, you said that earlier.
So,
okay.
yeah, by the time I got to be older, I knew a lot about Cajun music and Cajun culture, but we didn't know too much about the rest of what's going on in the United States. Jourdan makes jokes sometimes like, man, I love telling Wilson things because he's the first time he's ever heard it, It's like, which is kind of true. So, but we don't really sit around practicing too much. We, I think Jourdan can probably tell you the same thing.
Here,
I think, I think we practice usually on the bandstand, especially in this band. Jordan's got, hey, let's try this tune. And they're arranging, creating on the fly. Every time you play with this band, it's new, fresh, never been done. A lot of bands are polished, the same thing again and again.
Yeah.
To me, I find that boring. But with this band and every band I play in, it's got to be something new.
It's just whatever's coming out.
Exactly. You just got to go with the flow.
Okay, so what's your musical influence, Jourdan?
Oh, I don't know. Everything I ever heard in my life.
Okay, but what were you exposed to? Or were you
Everything.
like him, that you lived in a...
No, I didn't live in a bubble. You know,
Okay.
my mama and them played music, and they played like pop music of like the 60s.
Like
50s,
a band?
60s.
A band? And they did covers?
Yeah, yeah.
Wow.
So, I mean, I was familiar with that stuff, but I grew up a lot with my grandparents and with my grandma specifically. So we listened to a lot of French music. And I don't know, but I always look at it like an influence is anything you've ever heard in your life, because everything has a rhythmic quality. Everything has a musical side to it, whether it be what we're doing right now or like the sound of the tractor in the field or like the birds or I don't know, the ducks in the basin. Like everything has something and that contributes to what you do.
That's so interesting. I can remember when my son was very young, we were sitting at the dinner table and he said, listen to that. And it was the dog lapping the water.
Oh, yeah.
But it had
exactly.
a beat. It had a beat the way he was lapping the water. Yeah. And
Yeah.
someone's like, you hear that? And I'm like, wow, it's so cool. So what you got, Alligator Mike, huh? You brought these guys here?
Well, it's funny because we do a lot of blues things here at the hall, outside of our rock and roll. Go.
Outside. We do a lot of blues music here.
Outside of our rock and roll.
Okay.
But, growing up in Cajun country and I don't know how I happened into a blues festival, similar to what you were saying, Jourdan, you hear things through life and music-wise, and I listened to like Beastie Boys and like 311 growing up, and I always was like, what the hell am I going to listen to when I get older? I'm not going to be listening to this stuff, and here I am, and the blues kind of shifted me in, but there's nothing like listening to you guys coming from a Cajun heritage like I did. There's a beat, there's a groove, like I feel it in my body, a tap, whether it's a tap or a snap or whatever it is. I hear that music and it sucks me in because that's where I grew up.
Right.
But I'm a man of the blues these days. But I nothing more enjoyable than doing what we did this afternoon.
Oh my God!
Which is bringing
so good.
this culture, our Cajun culture into a blues like. sound and
Well, no,
place
no,
that's
we had-
history,
we had
history
some
for
Well,
us.
there's a
people
lot
from-
of crossover.
Yeah,
Oh,
we had people
absolutely.
from
You said it.
Australia and
You
New
told me.
Zealand going, what?
When Jordan said we're playing over the James Booker Fest, and I
Yeah.
thought, there's going to be other bands playing on Sunday besides a Cajun band. I was like, nope, just us. We're like, "Hey." I love James Booker, and I was
Just
really
so
excited
you
to be here for
know.
this. Yeah.
Well, we look at all facets of James Booker, and one thing about him was he was a virtuoso across many genres,
definitely,
right?
for sure.
So I think that he could have come on stage with you today.
Oh,
and
without a
played,
doubt.
right?
Yeah, sure.
he
Without
could
a
have
doubt.
picked up.
Well, you know, a lot of what Clifton Chenier was doing, too, was very similar to what James Booker was
Yeah,
doing.
Absolutely.
Definitely.
So you listen to James Booker and you hear a lot of crossover with like what Clifton was doing.
Yeah.
And you know, a lot of what I do on the accordion is trying to mimic those guys.
I
you know,
love
'cause
that
we love their
accordion.
music.
Oh
So.
my God, I love the fiddle, but the accordion I love that.
Yeah, we don't see it enough over here.
No,
this
we
was
still-
such
we
a
really
fantastic
don't.
Well,
opportunity.
have y'all had Cajun here before?
Yeah, we've
Yeah.
had Cajun.
Well, yeah, the rock and roll. We had
We-
Buckwheat Zydeco Jr. for the rock and roll, and look,
We've had Tyron.
We've had Tyron Benoit, who's a little bit more on the poppy side, but Tyron's great, and we've had some good Cajun music here in and out. But this was a special thing. We've done a lot of stuff on the Sundays. We've done drag brunches, comedy, everything. But to be honest, like the reaction that we had today,
Yeah.
I think like the Sunday Fado Dodo. And
That's where
growing
it's at.
up, Grandma cooked gumbo on a Sunday. That's when we went to their house. I mean,
But
that was
listen,
the
let me
thing.
tell you
Sundays
something.
for a good VA.
That's
Where
right.
we would
Make
have
the
this
video.
incredible lineup of music, just incredible, and we would get like half the audience we would get for that Sunday drag show, and I was like, oh my God, it was like they're pouring for the drag show. So we tried comedy a couple times, and the audience dwindled. Y'all saw, we were packed.
This
today.
was
as
as
big as-
We were
this was
packed.
as big of
This was
the-
the biggest of any
There
of
was
the
a lot of
days.
people out there. Good
Yeah,
crowd.
so I
Very
mean,
good.
like we had some incredible
I honestly
music
didn't
all
expect
weekend.
much because
It's
I
Sunday at 2 o'clock.
well, I own a dance hall in Lafayette.
Oh,
And
wow.
we do drag brunch, which is very popular.
Yes, exactly.
But then you try to do some Cajun music on a Sunday, and this is a great crowd.
Yeah.
We would not have had
Yeah.
this crowd, on a
Oh.
I'm
Sunday
gonna throw
See,
this
well,
in because I
yeah.
say it to a lot of people all the time. If it was easy to throw a party and make money, everybody would do it.
That's right.
It's
Oh, yeah.
tough.
It is tough.
luck.
Oh,
It
yeah.
takes a lot of things to go right to
Yeah.
get it right. But
Oh, yeah.
today was right.
I hope
That
y'all do
was
it again.
awesome,
Yeah.
and it was a great
Thank
sound,
you.
and it was perfect.
I want to ask you something, Jordan, because I've been watching your Instagram posts, and so I love that you're really but you are putting out there, like pushing the culture,
Yeah.
and really capturing it, almost archiving it. I love
Yeah,
that.
definitely.
So what's in there about you? Do you fear that it's going away, or I mean, he grew
Oh,
up
I
in
mean,
an
without a
enclave.
doubt, I mean, from what the world was when we were kids to where it is today, it's wildly different. And I don't know, I look at it as if I do everything I can to preserve and maintain and expose who we are as a people, who we are linguistically and culturally, then I don't know. At the end of the day, if I inspire 2, 3, 4 young people
Yeah.
to continue and to embrace who we are, then I've created an opportunity to perpetuate
Absolutely.
something. Right?
Planted a
Something that's
seed,
bigger than
for
me.
sure.
Something that's because I've always looked at it as this is a lot bigger than us. Like none of us. I
Thank
don't
you.
care if
I
it's
agree with
me,
you.
Wilson, whoever. Like we not shit.
Mm-hmm.
Like we just little torch bearers.
Yeah.
Torch
You
bearers.
know?
That's I
Like-
felt
But the torch is what's important. You know what
Yeah.
I mean? Like
right. When I got the hall, I felt the same way. I was like, "Oh, I'm the owner of this hall." I'm not. I'm like the custodian.
exactly.
I've got it for right now,
Exactly.
and I'm just carrying
Yes.
it to the next place.
Yes.
Right.
That's a fact.
You
you
here
know?
for today.
I'm here for today.
Right,
You
and
know, and
that's
we're
how I
here
feel.
right now doing what we got to do today. But you were talking, Wilson, about playing. You play Booker. You do a lot of Booker. We had, speaking of that, passing it on, River Eckert here. He did our Booker tribute.
Yesterday, right?
Yeah, 15-year-old, incredible. Just really an incredible. He's an incredible human. Like even beyond that, he's wise beyond his years. But of course, who he sits in with are 84-year-olds and 75-year-olds, and those are his mentors. And I was asking him, like, what do you do about the kids? Because your friends who are 15 are not listening to Booker, Alan Toussaint. They're not doing that. So what what are you doing? He said it's hard because there's no communication.
without a doubt.
So if you can get 3 to 4 people
Right.
to pass this legacy on to,
Exactly.
is golden. Is
Exactly.
golden.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
You gotta stop focusing on what's popular and what's cool and what's deemed right by society, and start focusing on what matters.
Yeah, what moves your soul, you know?
Yeah, like
It's
what
also-
has meaning to you in your heart, and what has validity and weight,
Yeah.
and just realness to it, you know?
Yeah.
I think the parents need to step it up too, because I was raised luckily by 2 parents who loved music and really made it accessible to me. I see a lot of parents nowadays, they don't really even make this stuff accessible. They let them follow all the modern day pop culture,
Yes,
this and that, but they
yes.
don't make all this other.
Right.
them an iPad and they walk
Exactly.
Right. Yeah.
Why not, like Jourdan was saying, his mom gave him records, play 1950s music, and
Yeah.
that's a great resource. And I think it's really up to the parents to make sure the kids have access.
Well, that's how we grew up, right? Our parents kind of forced their music on us. It wasn't us putting our music on them.
Y'all region are really the torchbearers, because you can't count on New Orleans, and I'm from Lafourche Parish, a little bit further southeast than you guys, but I'm the first generation not to speak French. My dad did,
Yeah.
I didn't, and so I do feel like I lost something on the way, but y'all region, that area, I tell people all the time, I travel quite a bit, and I have people from all over the country who are friends who may come to Louisiana, and they think they're going to New Orleans and they're getting Louisiana, but Lafayette really, and I use Lafayette as a broader term,
Right, right.
your Breaux Bridges and your Crowleys and your everything that goes with it. There's a cuisine, there's a certain look of people with the Creole, Cajun and Spanish look. I mean, there's a significantly amazing thing about Lafayette and that whole region, and people don't even know it. They think they're getting it there, and I'm like, just go a little bit west. It's 2 hours, dude. It ain't that. Now you gotta pass through Baton Rouge. That ain't easy.
Right.
But go to Lafayette, see it, get the culture. I mean, festival occasion. I mean, the things that Lafayette has produced are amazing, and they really are the torture bearers for Cajun culture, no doubt about it.
Yeah, not torture, but actually torch, right?
I like torture.
Torture
Torture
bearers
bearers.
is good,
Oh,
but I'm
torture,
just saying,
yeah.
it's your Cajun
No,
way of
no.
saying. It's all right.
But honestly,
It's
look,
all right.
I'm gonna tell you this. Look, don't forget this.
Some people think it's
The
torture.
one thing I took from what you said that I think is important, and I think is important for other people to understand, is my dad had taught this, but he didn't pass it to me. Like my grandparents taught this, but they didn't pass it to me. It ain't never too damn late to start. I don't care if you start today. I don't care if you started a week ago. Like, it's not dead just because nobody taught you. You can start, you can learn, you can revive that. That is your language, that is your family, that is your heritage. And it is never, ever too late to put the effort in to maintain who we are as a people.
Yeah, I love that. Amen. Well, listen, anything?
I'm good.
Okay, here's what I want to tell y'all. Y'all want to record a live album? 100 Minute Hall is here for you. We got this as a mobile recording and podcast studio. We can take it on the road. Y'all gonna be on the road.
This little table is awesome.
Yeah, right.
It's
Jesse
very nice.
built this entire thing
Yeah,
himself.
this dude is more than just the guy with the.
You don't even know.
Well
Incredible.
done, Jesse.
This is look around here. It's like they call me a project bitch, and it's true. If I'm
She a
if,
project, bitch.
Yeah.
Hood ratchet.
Now we switching it up.
but because if you're around me, you will be given a project to do. But this man, it's always around here. I'm just like Jesse.
Man, he's incredible.
Man of many
Incredible.
talents.
Yeah, man of many talents. Anyway, I really appreciate y'all coming. Y'all really, you just
Oh, thank you.
you
Jesse, turn on the
put
AC.
You put a big bow. You put a big bow on this festival, and it's just amazing. So Jourdan
Oh, thank
Thibodeaux,
y'all.
Wilson Savoy, thank you so much. Alligator Mike, Jesse Loya, we're out.